welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through today's reading. This is going to be our weekly reading for June 14th through the 20th. Let's see what's going on with Virgo. The heart of your reading, we have the Knight of Cups. This is either you wanting to act on love that you have in your heart, most likely toward another person, but this might be toward a new business venture or, let's see, is it potential, are we talking to people who want to move residences? Love. Yeah, I am picking up on some of you that feel a love of your hometown, and there's some desire to go back home, but that's not the... For most of you, this is romantic love. Let's see the challenge. Eight of Wands reversed. A slowdown of... They're giving me the concept of a river representing like opportunities, and it's been a steady stream, but all of a sudden like the river runs dry. And you are there like, oh, I always go to this river to fish for opportunities, but my usual way of grasping opportunities, like that has dried up. Whatever this challenge is, it's leading you to a more fertile ground, because the Ten of Pentacles here is prosperity. So if that river is drying up, Spirit might have like had some animals like build a dam in order to stop the river from flowing toward you. A funny little metaphor for you guys. Because there's like a lake a mile away, and if you would just not have that easy flow of smaller opportunities, you would never discover the mother lode of opportunities, or the major source of your prosperity is something that you're going to have to go a bit outside of your comfort zone to find. Now, that pulls me in the direction of financial prosperity. I'm just touching base with Spirit about how that fits for relationships. Yeah, okay, so I had a kind of a similar message for Leo's reading this week that just came out today as well. That your, some of you may be feeling like the dating pool is drying up for you, and you might need to go somewhere else or start interacting with a different group in order to find more people that you resonate with, more opportunities to date people who are quality or who resonate with you. So you might be dealing with a Leo, you might be destined to connect with a Leo, or you might have a strong Leo placement in your chart. Your focus. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed and the Eight of Cups. Wow, yeah, you're really ready to let go of a major sense of security for you. What has represented your comfort zone in a pretty serious way. It's brought you this far. This Four of Pentacles is something that provided stability, but more and more you started to feel like you were just holding on to it. You realized recently, or you're realizing now, that it's not serving you anymore. That it's an old habit. It got you this far, but you're meant to let go of it now. For some of you, it's quite a broad energy. It's not anything like a very, it's not anything that you, okay. For some of you, it's not anything that you can put your finger on and point at and say, this is how it's manifesting in my life. It's an energetic shift that's like, I'm ready to leave my comfort zone. I'm ready to be uncomfortable in order to explore, in order to, oh, I'm now seeing how this fits into what I was picking up on a moment ago, because the Eight of Cups is, I have these 8 cups that have served me quite well. There's nothing wrong with these cups. They're full. They're standing in the upright. You've enjoyed them. They've brought you, like you had to do a lot of emotional work to get this far, but it's not the 10. There's more out there. There's more emotional fulfillment possible for you. And when you have the 8 of Cups, you sense that. You know that you've got to go explore more of what life has to offer. There's changes. There's going off out into the unknown. And the metaphor of the 8 of Cups is, I need to go off into this valley over the horizon around the corner in order to find the other 2 cups. You feel this call. That happiness exists out there, and the implication with the 8 of Cups is that you're correct. Now you pair that with the 4 of Pentacles reversed, and it's like, I've been holding on to what I had for this long. I've been holding on to my 8 of Cups. It made me happy, but at some point I was holding myself back from more because it's comfortable. I haven't been growing, but now you are. Now you're releasing. Now you're ready to go off into the unknown and explore. Because the river has dried up. You're like, I gotta find some water somewhere. Show me the recent past. We have King of Pentacles, 5 of Cups reversed. For some of you, this means that you had lost someone who was potentially a father figure to you, potentially a mentor, someone who was a grounding influence in your life, potentially someone who provided for you financially. It's also possible that this energy manifested in your life in the form of losing someone who was a stabilizing influence for you. Possibly someone who, I don't know, like you lived with them. They paid the majority of the bills. There was some sort of sense of them providing financial support, or their financial success being a platform upon which you could thrive. You pair that with the 5 of Cups reversed, and it's that you've finally accepted that you can provide that for yourself and you don't need that from the other person. So whatever space or energy that person that you'd lost occupied in your life, the silver lining or the inherent blessing in that experience is that it's welling up from beneath the surface those qualities within you. You are becoming your own version of that person, whatever that person provided to you. So if it's a father figure, you are becoming your own confidant, your own sense of moral right and wrong, your own internal did you remember to check the oil? Did you remember to check the weather before you pack for that trip? Like the sense of responsibility over yourself, you're bringing that in-house now. Show me the energy of the environment. Oh, 3 of Swords. Okay. Three of Swords is something that stings. It's an emotional sting. more. Why is Virgo feeling this in their environment? To set you on a new path? Knight of Pentacles? Or it's part of the path? Please take this as it resonates. I have to give it the way that I'm receiving it, and it's like, this was a necessary part of the path. You're on track. You are building your future. You are building your prosperity. It's not even, and I don't want to dwell on this too much because I think it is a pain point for a lot of you. It's a sensitive point. So I respect that, but I'm here to talk about the energies that are at play. So there's something that you're meant to hear about this energy. And I'm trying to convey it in a way that I'm bringing forward only the helpful pieces of information. And I do believe that sometimes it's helpful just to know that Spirit knows where you're at. To hear a confirmation from me that Spirit is aware of what you're going through right now. But I'm not picking up on this Three of Swords as like an unexpected tragedy sort of energy. It's more like it's something that was inevitable, that you had already foreseen was going to happen at some point, that you knew was going to be painful when you experienced it, but it's part of the process of going through that. And without going into detail, you guys will know what I mean by this. It's like deciding to get a pet. Like, you know that there's heartbreak built into that. I'm a pet owner. I'm a fur mama. I don't like to think or dwell on like what's happening at the end of that experience, but I say that just to convey the sense of what I'm getting from this, what I mean by the inevitability of it. It was part of the process. Whatever sting, whatever emotional pain that you're experiencing, it's on your mind right now. However, when we pair this with the Five of Cups reversed in your recent past, I think the emotional aspect, you already cleared that. You've already processed the emotions. What's lingering, what's left, is the thinking about it. And not only that, but the thinking about it is part of your path. Like, having that energy in your mind as part of what you're thinking about as you fulfill this next stage of your path is a helpful influence. Show me the near future. How does this story unfold for Virgo? Okay. I'm looking to see how many other swords we have, and we're definitely continuing the swords. The only swords so far that have shown up, the element of the mind, the element of air, so far has been the Three of Swords, and in the near future we switch to strong swords energy with the King of Swords and the Four of Swords. If this is you as the King of Swords, you're going to go into deliberation mode. This is sourcing the information that you need to make a wise decision, asking for opinions, researching. You may withdraw from an entire situation in your life, Four of Swords, in order to clear your head and do your own evaluation. Now, the King of Swords doesn't discount other people's opinions. In fact, he's a wise decision maker. which includes relying on trusted sources of analysis or information. But you're doing so, I think, in a withdrawn state. So I don't think that you're meeting with people or talking with people in person. I don't think you're interacting with people directly. But you may be tapping into people's advice without them being aware, like reading people's blogs or listening to people's podcasts or watching YouTube videos about what you're trying to gain information about so that you make an important, wise decision. That's for some of you. For others of you, this King of Swords is an external factor. It's someone else in your life, and this would be you withdrawing from them. So someone might enter your life who is in a position to make decisions that will impact you. And if that's the case, your instinct is going to be to give them the space, to not be like up close and personal with what they're doing, to not be so involved with, or to like insert yourself into their decision-making process. Quite the contrary. You're going to want to say, okay, you do what you have to do. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to have my peace of mind mentally walled off from what you're doing. If that's the case for you, I do get a sense of trust. Like you trust this person and that trust is warranted. Like you can be calm, genuinely calm. It's not like putting on a front or making an unwise decision to not be involved in the process. It's like, okay, I know that you're going to make the right decision, so I don't have to concern myself. Show me surprise energy for Virgo. Magician in reverse. You're going to find out that someone has been manifesting contrary to what you've been manifesting. And this isn't a disaster. It happens a lot. It's part of our daily experience. We are all co-creating our environment. We are all co-creating this experience, this human experience on Earth. Within your sphere of influence, you have the ultimate say. But whenever your sphere of influence crosses over someone else's, say you live together or you interact with them on a regular basis, you tell them what you want and you solicit your opinions. No. You tell them what you want to do and you solicit their opinions about what you are doing. That invites their thoughts, their ideas, their opinions to actually, literally influence the outcome of what you're doing. So, be careful. I'm not sure there's much you can do about this. It's already in the energy stream. But in general with this energy, I'll get to what this means in just a second. I want to start with the caution. If you're not certain that someone wants you to succeed, think long and hard about whether or not you're going to share your intentions with them. Tell your plans to them. Because if they don't believe that you can achieve it, if they don't believe that it's possible for you, if they, oh, that's great, I really support you, and then they're thinking they're going to get ruined. This is a very bad decision. I fully expect them to fail. Their beliefs about what is going to happen for you can have an impact on the outcome. So, you can't always avoid that. You can't eliminate everyone else's impact on your life 100%, because we're meant to have these human interactions and navigate that. In this instance, I feel like this Magician in reverse is coming as a surprise to you because something that you want to happen isn't going to turn out that way. You're going to get a first-hand account of what I've just been talking about, and it's not going to be a disaster. It's a learning opportunity for you to witness this energy, to say, to become aware of an aspect of manifestation. It's going to be someone relatively close to you, and they're going to be welcoming of the outcome. You'll be able to tell who this is talking about by something's going to happen and it's not what you expected or it's not what you wanted. But there's someone else close to you that's like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm so glad that it turned out this way. Their energy manifested that outcome. So it's a bit of an opportunity to dissect that, to analyze it for yourself, to understand how those overlapping spheres of influence work with the whole concept of manifestation. And it's not to say that the outcome that you wanted isn't possible for you. It is absolutely possible. You just have to move in a new direction or change start over or change the circumstances so that it doesn't include that person, because they've gotten the outcome that they wanted. Show me hopes and fears. Which way do you want this? Interesting. Okay. It was in the reverse, but it flipped to the, as you can see, it's horizontal now. Death energy. You're afraid of losing things. You're afraid of, you might literally be afraid of death. You might be wrestling with that concept. If you have lost a parent recently, that may be really bringing to the forefront your feelings on mortality, and you may be wrestling with that. And I mention that because of the Five of Cups reversed paired with the King of Pentacles has strong, perhaps, and I have to make this strong disclaimer because it's come up in the past videos months ago. When I talk about something that happened in the past and I reference a possible death that's happened, it's not predicting that future. It's not predicting anyone dying. That's not part of what tarot is meant to do. But what you are going through, obviously the death of a parent can influence someone quite a bit. So if that has already happened for you, I see this as shifting your perspective on mortality and that becoming a more present fear in your life. Now, if that's not the case for you, I feel like we're talking about endings. Yeah, just endings in general. Ten of Swords energy of being resistant to losing things in your life. Feeling like, well, what is guaranteed? What is permanent in life? Nothing. And feeling like, oh, that's scary. That's the sense that I'm getting off of this. The fear that you're projecting onto the situation is desiring more permanence or more certainty and not being able to find it at the moment. Show me the end result. How do these energies, love it, the Star. Okay, this is the light that will shine on your path forward. If you're unclear at all about where to go, the Star is your divine purpose, your mission in this life, so to speak. Why are you here? What are you meant to do? What is going to feel meaningful to you? It's really tapping into an understanding of all of that. Some call it your destiny. With that, when you clue into that, when you tap into that, an overwhelming sense of hope and healing always accompanies that connection. It's a kind of an indescribable sense of, I'm on the right track, everything's going to be okay. And that's where you're headed right now. It's also quite possible that there's literal stardom on the path for you. Like you're headed toward fame and stardom, being in the public eye. If that's the case, you're already seeing signs of it. You're already on that path. Yeah, that could manifest as like getting exposure that you didn't expect to get, like an article being written about you, or being on the cover of a magazine, or one of your social media posts going viral unexpectedly. It's like unexpected exposure. For some of you, it's quite extreme, or quite what's the right word that I'm looking for? It's big. It's expansive. A lot of exposure. Quickly. In an instant is the way they're giving it to me. So cool. Congratulations. Show me... Well, let me say this. It's a neutral energy. It's not positive or negative. Like, fame or stardom isn't synonymous with happiness or prosperity. So it's like it's all about what emotional attitude you take going into it, what you get from it. But it feels exciting. For those of you who are about to experience a new level of fame or stardom, it's going to be exhilarating. And it may have to do with your pain point. If you've experienced loss or heartbreak, you may be putting that into your art, and you release that, and that's what people resonate with, and that's what takes off and goes viral. Show me advice for Virgo. How can Virgo work with these energies for their highest and best good? Okay, don't get lost in analysis paralysis. Seven of Cups reverse says that you may have a lot of opportunities in front of you right now. It's not time to... okay, no. They're pulling it back because they drew my attention back to the Eight of Wands reversed. The lack of opportunities. Opportunities are drying up. You need to go off in search of more opportunities. Hold on, give me a second to tap in. Because this was coming... Okay, I'm going to continue my train of thought, and then I'll come at it from the other perspective as well. Because this initially came in as... Don't overanalyze the options that are in front of you. And interestingly, they stopped me there before I continued. Okay, so that's the reason why. Okay, thank you, Spirit. That's... The opportunities that are in front of you right now aren't the opportunities for you. You're meant to, like we said, leave the river and go off in search of the lake. Like these opportunities, it used to be easy pickings, right? Like you're accustomed to tapping into something on a regular basis it could be anything. It could be your source of inspiration. Like anytime I want to write a song, I read my diary, or I go back through my old posts and I remember something that I experienced in the past and I write about that. Or it's a certain author that you can like draw from in order to write screenplays. Like some regular source of... it could really be anything. Sorry I'm leaving it so general, but it's like your source of things that you draw from, either for inspiration or for sustenance or for security or for money or for job opportunities. Like, some source for you is dried up. That's happened for a reason. It's because it's not because the well has run dry, it's because there's more out there for you. How else do you want me to describe this? Why are we bringing it back to the same message again? Because it's not going to be like it was before. When you fulfill this Eight of Cups energy and you go off in search of the metaphorical emotional lake, this new source that's going to be much more fertile, bigger, better, greater than what you would have experienced had you stayed placated, had you stayed in your comfort zone. A little bit here, a little bit there. This is like you're going to hit the mother lode. Had you stayed there, it would have dried up. But I guess it's just asking you to stop fishing at that river. If there aren't opportunities that seem emotionally valid, that connect with you, that seem like, oh, that's gonna make me happy, don't like become a bottom feeder. Don't like go sifting through the sand and see, oh, here's like a guppy that's half dead, I'll take that. That must be what I'm meant to work with at this moment. No, the fact that the river is running dry is to redirect you. Same path, different source of incoming whatever you need. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there, Virgo. I hope that helped. I'm just looking at the timer and I see that we've gone quite long on this video. For those of you who are still with me, thank you. I like to keep things concise. I pride myself on being able to deliver the message needed in a nice, tight, concise format. So thanks for rolling with me on this one. I hope it helped. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you back next Monday. Bye.